Hey everybody, welcome to Home with the Halsteads and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm over at the sink and I'm going to be cooking a Boston butt. This is a pork roast that was on sale at the grocery store, and I'm going to put it on this morning and let it cook all day, and I'm going to make some barbecue out of it. We love barbecue. We love it with just barbecue sandwiches and maybe some chips. Or we like sometimes to add sides such as brown rice and green beans, maybe some baked beans, coleslaw. So there are just lots of ways that you can prepare and use barbecue or a Boston butt. And you don't even have to make barbecue out of it. You can just cook it in your crock pot while you go about your day's activities and let it cook. And you can just eat it plain if you want to eat it that way. But I wanted to talk to you just a minute. I know I try to keep my videos short, but I do want to tell you this, that I will be the first to tell you that planning meals can be very challenging, and it can be very challenging for several reasons. But two reasons that come to mind this morning for me is that we all live very, very busy lives. We have schedules, even retired individuals, their schedules are full all day long, and working moms and dads, aunts and uncles, cousins, everybody is busy all the time, and you don't think about cooking or what you're going to eat until it's time to eat. So that can be very challenging for families in planning meals. Secondly, I'm thinking this morning about the increased cost in food. I think it's very, very important that we all be very conscientious about what we spend. And I like to personally look for things that are on sale. And so this week they had Publix, and I'm not advertising for Publix, although that's a wonderful store. They had Boston butts on sale for $2.79 a pound. And this is 4 1/4 pounds, so I picked one up. And this morning I'm going to just put it in the crock pot, and I thought I would show you how I do that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to slip on some gloves. Now, a lot of you ask where I get these gloves. I just pick them up at Walmart, and I like to have them in my kitchen. I don't use them all the time, but if I'm handling certain foods, then I will put on some gloves, and they're expensive. I'll be the first to tell you that. So you may not be able to purchase gloves, but you can just wash your hands like I do lots of times. So I'm just removing the pork roast from the container, and I'm going to run it under cold water. I like to wash my meat. Some of you say that you don't, that there's no need in washing the meat, but I just like to wash it. One of my meat cutters told me one time that I need to wash my meat. There could be sawdust, or you don't know who's handled it, so I do just rinse it off. Now I'm going to take a paper towel, and I'm going to just pat it dry, and I hope you can see this. This Boston butt is tied. It has a string around it, and I'm going to leave that on there. Now, let me dry my hands. I'm going to salt. That's all that I'm going to put on this Boston butt. If I had planned ahead of time, I could have salted this and let it sit overnight to absorb the salt. But it takes a good bit of salt. You don't want to over salt it, but you do want to put enough on it that it'll be good and flavorful. So now all that I'm going to do is put it in my crock pot. A lot of you might have special rubs that you want to rub it with, but Doug likes it just kind of plain. He doesn't deal well with spices and things of that nature. So I'm just going to put it in the crock pot, just like that. And I'm going to cover it, put it on low, let it cook. Excuse me. I'm sorry, let it cook all day long, and then I'll come back when it gets done and we'll shred it, and I'll put some barbecue sauce on it, and we'll have a barbecue sandwich for dinner. Okay, our pork roast is done. It has cooked 7 hours in the crock pot on low, and I have gotten a lot done today. Look at that, and look at this broth. Oh my goodness, we can make something with this broth, but I'm just going to put some on top of this roast right now. Oh my goodness, that looks so delicious. I'm going to fork it and show you how tender it is. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it is so tender. So what I'm going to do now is to lift it out of the crock pot. I'm going to put it in this Pyrex dish, and I'm going to cover it with foil and let it sit until it cools enough that I can start working with it and taking the fat off and shredding it so that we can put our favorite barbecue sauce on it. So when it cools and I start to make barbecue out of it, I'll be back and we'll do it together. Our pork roast is cool enough to start shredding it, so I'm just going to cut the strings and remove those. I leave these on because it helps to hold it together. Oh, this is so tender. Oh my goodness. It is incredibly tender. So I'm just going to remove the strings. I'm going to lift it up, and I've got gloves on. I like to work with gloves when I'm working with something like this. So I'm just going to take my hands, and I'm going to start pulling this apart. You can see here I'm going to remove as much of the fat as I can as I'm taking it apart. So we're just starting here, and I'll go ahead and break it in the middle so that you can see, and I'll remove all of the inside that doesn't look good, and then I just take the meat like this, and I clean it real good, get all the fat off that I can, and then I'm just putting it over here in this dish. When I get finished, oh, this is so tender and moist. It's going to be so good. And there is some waste to this, but the reason that there is because I try to remove all of the fat that I possibly can. Look how moist that is. It's going to be so delicious. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so good. I think we're just going to have a barbecue sandwich, maybe with some chips tonight, maybe some pickles, good sweet tea, and we're going to call it a day. So I'm going to go ahead and work to try to pull this pork. Look at that. And when I get it all pulled, I'll come back and I'll show you how we're going to do it. But look at that. That right there would be good with a meal just by itself. Maybe some green beans and some rice. So I'm going to continue working and putting it in this dish here, and when I get finished, I'll be back. That didn't take very long to shred it and to take all of the fat out of the roast. Look at that. That is a bowl full. This will last Doug and I several days. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour barbecue sauce on mine. We like the sticky fingers, and I'm not advertising for sticky fingers, but this is Memphis original, and I do love Memphis barbecue sauce, but you can use your favorite barbecue sauce. You can make your own barbecue sauce, but I like to go ahead and add mine, and then if someone wants more at the table, they can add it. Or you could just serve it plain and let each one add their own. So I'm just stirring this around, making some delicious barbecue. I just can't wait. This is such an easy meal. I'm gonna turn it over, make sure I get it all covered. That's in the bottom, bringing it to the top. And if someone wants more sauce, then they can add more sauce. And like I said, we're going to enjoy this for dinner tonight. So there you have it, barbecue made from a Boston butt pork roast. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. Thank you for helping me to make this barbecue. Doug will be in a few minutes and we're going to sit down and have a nice dinner together. And I didn't stay in the kitchen all day and that was wonderful. I hope that you'll try it real soon. Just an update, my cookbooks will be here in just a few days and I will be getting the information out to you as to how to order those. I hope you have a blessed evening and I'll see you again really soon.